What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a full face of first impressions. Some of these products are super duper new, fresh to the market, and other ones are just new to me. And as we go through the video, if there's anything specific that you want more information on, I will list everything in the description down below with a link to where you can find it, or if it's not available yet, I'll put like the release date for it or whatever. I will also put the price and a timestamp to where it is in the video, so if you just look down in the description and you're like, ooh, I want to see about that, you can just click it, jump right to that part of the video. We have a lot of new stuff to get through today. Like literally I'm sitting in a pile of makeup right now. Like if you could see what's down here, you would just be like, whoa, whoa. Clean up your life, kiddo. It is a disaster down there. So we have a lot to go through. So I'm not gonna waste any time. But before we get started, please do not forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a second to do that, because it really helps me out and I would super appreciate it. And also, if you're new here, you might as well go ahead and subscribe, because if you don't right now, you might forget later, and then you're going to click off the video and then forget who I was, and you're not going to be able to find me, and then I'm going to cry, and then you're going to cry, and that's a lot of suffering that we could avoid. I think that's all the information that I have to get out before we start, so let us get in to some of this new makeup and start trying it right here on my face right now. Alright, so the first new item today is a foundation, and I literally cannot even remember the last time I did my foundation on camera. So it just gets like really repetitive and boring after a while. But since we're trying a new one today, I figured it's worth it to sit down and actually do this on camera. This isn't a new foundation, but it's new to me. Oh my god, this is heavy. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and the reason that it's not new, but there's like a PR package, if you're not aware, is because they teamed up with Jackie Aina to do some shade extensions to make the line much more inclusive for people. So they added a bunch of deeper tones and even a couple of new really pale tones as well. They really like went above and beyond to like make it so that everybody will have a foundation. So I am going to be using this for the first time today. I've actually never used Born This Way foundation before, even though everybody raves about it, so this is an exciting day for me too. I took a moment earlier to shade match myself, and I think that my shade in the foundation should be the same as my shade in the Too Faced Born This Way concealer that I did a review of, I think 2 weeks ago now. I'll link that here up on the screen if you want to go watch that. The swatch portion of the video, I fucked up the little labels that go on the swatches, so not as helpful as I would like it to be, but the rest of the review is still there. So if you want to watch that, I'll link it up here. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be shade nude, and I'm going to apply that to my face with a damp beauty sponge. I previously primed my skin with one of my usual primer combinations. I used the Fab Coconut Skin Priming Smoothie on most of my face, and then I went through with the Smashbox Pore Filling Primer Stick through the center where my pores are larger, and like right here and like here and stuff. I'm going to take a couple of pumps of the shade Nude on the back of my hand. That actually looks like it's a really good shade match. So far this seems to be about medium coverage, and it's giving me pretty much like a natural satin finish after it dries down. So far I'm really happy with the way this is sitting on my skin. The only thing that I'm not in love with is I have like a little bit of a dry patch right here, and I can see it clinging to that a little bit, but I am going through one of those phases where I'm having a little bit of a reaction to some random skincare that I was testing out, which is just like a part of my life at this point. Like every 5 to 6 months this happens to me. I test a lot of skincare. There are obviously some things that my skin is sensitive to, so I break out in like little textury bumps, and then I get some dry patches. So it's actually really impressive that this isn't clinging to other things, because my skin does have a lot of texture and dry patches right now. Just right here where I have one extremely dry patch, I do see a little bit of noticeable patchiness in the foundation, but outside of that, it's doing really well considering what my skin looks like right now. And everything else looks very natural, and it's generally sitting pretty nicely. Another part of the Too Faced Jackie collab was that they did a shade extension on the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. So now there are 3 shades. There's the original translucent, which I'm going to be using because it is for fair to medium skin. Then there is medium, which is for medium skin tone to tan skin tone. And then there's deep, which is for tan to deep. One thing I think is cute is the packaging has this little flip up lid that closes off the sifter so that it kind of keeps it neater inside the package, and it's shaped like a heart in there, so that's cute too. I'm gonna put a little bit of that in the cap and then use it to set my under eyes. brush a little tiny bit of that lightly over the rest of my face so I can like blend my bronzer in more smooth and stuff. I don't know, I just feel like whenever I set my foundation, my bronzer and my contour look so much better, but at the same time, sometimes I don't like setting it because then it feels heavy. But this is really light so far, and everything looks really fresh and not heavy. So far I'm very happy with the combination of these two, and as long as this foundation wears nice, I'll probably use them together for sure because they work well as a team. The next item I want to play with today is another collab. This one is from Smashbox and Golden Barbie. Look how pretty she is, oh my god. So we have 6 new cover shot eye palettes, mesmerizing formulas and new finishes, high pigment shades from wearable to bold. It says 6 new cover shot palettes. The package has 7 in there, so I'm not sure if one of them's a repeat or if that's a misprint or what, but that's a little confusing. They all have this kind of holographic front. Wow, ooh, look at that, that's fun. They all have a little bit of a holographic design on the front. This is the Prism palette. This is the Pinks and Palms palette. This one is called Major Metals. The thing I think that's cute that they did is they put a little sticker in here to let you know which ones you should use with your finger, so that's handy. Oh, I just figured out what it is. This one that they put in here is Petal Metal, and they already had this one from the Vlada collection. The other 6 are new. Got it. Got it. This one is called the Bold Glitter palette. This one is called the Punked Eye palette. It's all nice smoky grays. And this one is called the Minimalist, for obvious reasons. Some of these don't seem to be set up to be a palette that you can create a whole look with. Like there's an entire palette of just glitters. So I'm just gonna kind of like dip my big toe in the pool of every different palette as I need to, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna start with the Minimalist, and I'm going to use that to kind of define my crease a little bit. I'm gonna dip into the color Nude over here. I feel like literally everything I've put on my face today has been called nude so far. It actually has. It has. I'm just gonna pop Nude through my crease and then blend it out. I'm getting a lot of kickback with this, which I didn't expect because I don't recall having a lot of kickback from the Petal Metal palette when I tested it for the Vlada collection, but I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just forgetting. I'm gonna use a little bit of the shade Java to deepen up my crease, mostly on the outer portion, and I'm doing that on a smaller brush. This is a MAC 221S brush. Wow, that's really dark. Was not expecting that to be so dark. It blended nicely though. Just went on like, wow, like bam with the dark pigment there for a second, Jesus. It actually blended out really nice. Next, I'm gonna pick up the Prism eye palette. There are 2 shades in here that I think are so pretty. This one is called Astronaut, and this one is called Rocket Star. Astronaut reminds me a lot of Honey Drip from Nabla Cosmetics. I'm gonna get in real tight here on the pen so you can see what I'm talking about. It's got this finish that's sort of like, it's very chunky and it's almost like it's got a flake glitter to it. So it creates like a really interesting different finish. Since Astronaut is so close to Honey Drip and I've used that on this channel before, I am going to go into Rocket Star. I hope it shows up on camera. It's like a really, really crazy like pink blue, like duochrome flashy kind of a situation. I'm going to pick that up on my finger and I'm going to apply that to the entire inside portion of my lid. So far that's really cool looking in person. That is so cool. I also am finding that you can like build it up on top of itself to give a little bit more impact, but then like leave the edges a little bit less so it's like diffused and blended. I really, really like that a lot. I'm like praying that it picks up like looking as cool on camera as it does in real life because it's so cool. All right, I want to test another one of the palettes and I also want to add a little bit of color to this look. So I'm going to pick up the Pinks and Palms one. And I'm going to go into this shade here, which is called Palm Print. I'm picking that up on a MAC 219S pencil brush, and I'm going to just drag that underneath my entire waterline. I'm bringing that down pretty low underneath my lower lash line, but it's a really soft pastel, and like, whatever. We're just gonna go for it. Why not? Before I finish the rest of the eyes with just like random not new products, I want to prep the lips with something new. This is the Plenty of POUT Plumping Lip Gloss. That's a tongue twister from MAC Cosmetics. So I got this a couple days ago in the mail from MAC, and I actually tried it yesterday, and it's very, very intense, but it's also like a really, really interesting applicator and an interesting texture. It's almost like a liquid balm on a doe foot, like paddle shaped applicator. I would say this is like a gloss in the least strict form of the word. It's like barely glossy. It looks like a balm on the lips and it feels like a balm, but it has like a really comfortable buttery texture and it like moisturizes the lips a bit, and it's also like very intense as far as the plumpingness goes. So I figured it'll be really nice to prep with for lipstick, so that is what we're doing with it today. It also smells delightful, like vanilla and eucalyptus, I feel like. I don't know, I can't really describe. Oh, what does it smell like? It's so familiar. It smells exactly like white Tic Tacs. There you go, boom, nailed it. All right, I also have a new highlight to use today. This is the Nabla powder highlighter. Look at the packaging on this. It's so like chic and sleek. Ooh. This is the shade Venus Sand. Obviously, I swatched it already. I swatched it the other day over on Instagram stories. But this is just kind of like a champagne-y pink shade. These highlighters seem to be pretty intense, so I'm going to go in light-handed at first on the usual highlight brush that I like to use. Ooh, wow. That's a very, very intense highlight. That's very pretty and dewy though. I like that a lot so far. I'm just going to dab away some of that, or all of that plumping gloss. For the lips, I have some new stuff from Lime Crime. These are not necessarily new releases, but these are shades that I have never used before, and they were nice enough to send me a package of stuff this week, so I figured I would use them on camera and give them a try for the first time. So I'm going to start with the Velveteen liquid lipstick in the color Cherub. That's a really, really nice warm pink color, and it feels like very light on my lips. And then I'm gonna top that with one of their, this one I know is new, the Wet Cherry lip glosses. This is in the nude shade, which is called Bitter Cherry. It smells like cherry candies, or like cherry cough drops, like Luden cherry cough drops. I'm not sure if I love the way it smells. I like the way this shade layers over the other lipstick so far a lot though. It like kind of toned it down just a touch, but it's also like looking really smooth over it. So far I think I like that combo. All right, so today was one of those rare and beautiful first impression videos where nothing was a total flop, which I think is like a good omen for the week to come or something, don't you? But let's go back through all of the new things that I used and discuss exactly what I think. Okay, so the first thing we used today was the Too Faced Born This Way foundation and the Too Faced Born This Way powder. I think that I understand the hype around these now. It's not settling into my fine lines at all. It's not oxidizing at all. It really is like very light and very natural with a good amount of coverage and a natural finish. I think that that's a very appealing set of attributes for a foundation for people because it's not really extreme in any one direction. So it's a nice combination of things that I feel like can be very good for day-to-day foundation for a lot of people. It also feels very comfortable on my skin, and even with the powder over it, it's still very light. So I definitely understand the hype. Really excited that they extended the shade range. I think what they did with the shade range is beautiful. Everything looks like really just such, there's so much thought put into the undertones. It's very, very clear. I wish you guys could see them all in person here at once to kind of get that impression of them. But I do suggest that if you see them in the store, go check out the shades. I swear they did such a nice job. Obviously, I haven't worn it for the entire day yet, so I don't know how it will wear over time. I'll obviously keep you guys updated on what I think of that. Most likely, I'll put that on Instagram stories. These Smashbox cover shot palettes, they all performed really well. I think they're a little bit like shockingly more pigmented than you would expect because the matte shades They look like they wouldn't be like super pigmented because you could look in the pan and see that they look like they're pressed really hard, and usually that means that there's not going to be as much color payoff, but damn, there's a lot of color payoff. Like, I was expecting the shades to be a lot lighter than they even applied to the eye, but they weren't. They were very richly pigmented and they blended out really nicely. Rocket Star applied beautifully to the eyes, and Astronaut, I only did a swatch, but it looked like it applied exactly the same, and it is like literally an exact dupe for Nabla Honey Drip, which is one of my favorite eyeshadows because it was like the first one I ever saw that had that finish to it. And as much as I would love for you to run out and buy from Nabla because they're a little independent company and they're awesome and I love them, I understand that going on their site and ordering from Italy and waiting for it might not be as accessible to you guys. So if you are looking for something similar to that, I really think that you should check out the Prism Eye Palette from Smashbox. You have two really cool shades like that in there, and also they're available at Sephora and Ulta and all that, so it might be a little bit easier for you guys to get your hands on. Personally, I love this type of eyeshadow, so I don't know if it's gonna be for everybody because it is really like, it's different, but if you like it, I think you're gonna love it. Does that make sense? You know, I feel like some people are gonna hate it, but I definitely love it. Two standout palettes from the new Cover Shot releases are definitely the Prism one and the Pinks and Palms eye palette, which was this bad boy right here. I just think those two are like the most interesting and well balanced out of the bunch, so if I was gonna pick them up, those are the ones I would get. The MAC Plenty of Pout Plumping Gloss. I think that this is really nice for a lip plumper, but I would not be fooled into thinking that it's going to be like a glossy gloss. Honestly, it barely gives just like a little hint of shine. It is a gloss in the loosest definition of the term. But that being said, it's very comfortable. It looks nice on your lips. It looks like a shinier lip balm. So if you're looking for something to keep in your purse that's like, I don't know, like really toned down, and you could just throw it on and it's not sticky and it's also gonna plump your lips, you might really like this. I also really like it as like I used it today, like a pre-prepping treatment for other lipsticks. So it's definitely, I wouldn't go out thinking you're gonna get something high shine like Too Faced lip injections, but if you're looking for something balmy that's also a plumper, this is probably something that you'll like. It also smells exactly like white Tic Tacs, like exactly. The Nabla powder highlighter in the color Venus Sand. I really like this. I was trying to like put my finger on what it was reminding me of and I couldn't place it, and then I thought of it. This color reminds me so much of Thunderstruck eyeshadow from Kat Von D, which I have forever been using as a highlighter because I think it's a beautiful highlight. It's like a gold and pink shifting, very wet sort of a shade. So if you love Kat Von D Thunderstruck, then I would absolutely recommend that you check this out. I think that it's a great way to use a real highlighter instead of an eyeshadow. Not because there's anything wrong with using Thunderstruck as a highlight. Thunderstruck is a big pan for an eyeshadow, but it's still a lot smaller than a highlighter would be, so you end up going through it pretty quickly. And also, Thunderstruck, while beautiful, is also notorious for breaking, so it's really, really difficult to travel with. So if you're looking for an alternative to that, then Venus Sand from Nabla Cosmetics might be your new best friend. The Lime Crime liquid lipstick in the color Cherub is very pretty. It's very light on the lips and I enjoy it so far, and I actually really like the orange shade because I feel like these orangey kind of pinks give a little bit of something to the complexion for summer. Makes it look a little brighter, and for me personally, they always make my teeth look whiter. But what I like more than the lipstick is actually the gloss. I don't really love the smell of this gloss, but I really like the way it feels on my lips because it's feeling very like, I don't know, it's got a lot of slip to it and it doesn't feel sticky at all. Like it's a very wet, sticky-less, unsticky, it's the opposite of sticky. It doesn't feel sticky at all, but it's still giving me really high shine and making my lips look really plump and full, which is something that I really like in a lip gloss because sticky gloss makes me just angry as the day goes on. Ooh, it can just ruin your mood. I have a lot of other new stuff here that I actually didn't even get an opportunity to try today because we only have so much room on one little face, unfortunately. But I think I chose well because literally everything was pretty damn good. There was nothing that I was like, ooh god, no, I gotta take this off and start over, which for a first impressions video is a major win because I'm sure you guys know by now, they can be a huge mess sometimes. If I had to choose a couple of things to go out and actually buy out of this bunch of stuff, the assortment of things that we tried today, I think I would go with the Born This Way foundation and powder. I think the combination of them together works really, really well. And I would also probably pick up that Smashbox Prism palette because I really think that eyeshadow finish is so unique and so much fun to have in your collection because, I don't know, eyeshadow can get so goddamn boring and repetitive after a while. And I mean, this is like such a cool purpley glow. It has such an interesting texture. You can use it in different ways to make the texture sit differently on your skin. I just think it's really fun and interesting. So those would be my picks for the day for sure. So that's pretty much all we have to go through for new stuff today. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. I super appreciate having you around. What I would also appreciate is if you would leave a like on this video. Let me know that you enjoy what I'm doing, what I'm making, what I'm putting out for you guys. And also it just helps me out and I would really appreciate it. Please also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already because I would love to have you stick around for future videos. We have so many fun things coming down the line. I don't even know what they are yet, but I know they're gonna be fun. And if you feel like you are going to miss me between videos, I post on social media pretty much every day. I update my Instagram stories a lot. I always do my PR unboxings on Instagram stories and I post high definition photos of the makeup that I do here on this channel. Usually not something so boring as this. Probably won't even bother taking high def photos of this one because it's so simple, but like, you know, the more interesting looks, I post the photos of those over there on Instagram. I do lip art over there. It's generally just a good time. So I would suggest that you come follow me. My name is @MissQueenFace on pretty much every social platform you could ever possibly want to find me on. That is it for today. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one.